Hi, hola, konnichiwa, bonjour. Welcome to Cheats Disabled. This is the penultimate episode of Maneater. It's exciting, a bit bittersweet, and I just want to thank everybody for coming along on this journey. Will be the first completed walkthrough on the channel, one of many to come. But yeah, we already have the episode done and uploaded to YouTube. It will unveil on Friday, which will be the finale of Maneater. And today we're going to do a little something different. We are going to read some questions that I've gathered through DMs and other sources, and I'm going to give you my general review of Maneater, because to be honest, there's a lot of cleanup in this episode. We're going to go around gathering license plates and nutrient caches out of several areas. So then the next episode, we're just taking on the final encounter of the game, and it's easy peasy shark squeezy. But since it's kind of, if you're just here for me or the story, I figured I would do something different instead of just being like, oh, well, here's this nutrient cache, and oh, here's this license plate, oh, here's this license plate. I'm gonna kind of just answer some questions. You can watch the footage, use it to follow along. And once again, I appreciate you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Every bit helps on our journey to 100 and beyond. So again, let's get it cracking. Thank you for watching. All right, we're starting off in that grotto, playing like there's no tomorrow. And we are in the Gulf. We're gonna grab this nutrient cache. It's right there out of the exit. You can see it on the map. Boom. You're welcome. Let's get it. I was saying you're welcome to Rosie. To you, the audience, I only say thank you.
We've had some real bad fish kills because of these oil tankers spilling. But it brings a lot of money into the economy. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, well, you could. I mean, from a humanitarian and decent human being perspective. But I guess, you know, Scaly Pete's is kind of a scumbag, which we figured out so far. I mean, from the, you know, forced C-section he inflicted on Rosie's mother, her death, the attempted death of Rosie several times, the creepy crap from the beach, all that. Yeah, he's pretty terrible. So, I mean, I have a feeling that we're gonna have to confront him eventually, but as of now, we're gonna pick up stuff. We're gonna do some quests. We're gonna crack the Gulf wide open, brother. And we are swimming over here to a storyline required a revengeance mission, as we call them here on Cheats Disabled. Shout out to Erica. We are getting our revengeance today. This one's pretty quick. You only have to eat 5 people, but they are basically hunters with their spear guns, and it picks a fight. And we've got a shark, a sneaky shark that wants a piece of Rosie, as if they haven't learned enough in the previous 13 episodes. They're gonna have to get that beat down in this one too, and probably the last one as well.
Port Clovis has long been a popular dumping ground for the military, thanks to its lenient regulations and low tipping fees.
And we got a landmark. We like those. Swimming through the tunnel. There's nasty things in the tunnels, always. Now there's hunters in the tunnels. They just keep making this more difficult for us as we move through what is the last area of the game. I mean, it won't be the last area we explore. We have to go back to Sapphire Bay and do some cleanup. We have to go to the first area of the game where we played in the prelude as Rosie's mother. You can go back there as a elder shark / mega shock and get the license plates and caches there as well. Getting yet another license plate. That is 2 of 10. Means we got 8 left for those that are mathematically impaired. Like me. Use my fingers and toes. And we are jumping back down in yet another tunnel. The Gulf is full of tunnels. I don't know how I feel about that. But we are getting nutrient cache 8 out of 21. We are making significant progress as we move through here. Swimming yet through another tunnel, yet through another. Great. We're feeling great. Grabbing yet another landmark.
Giant monsters, or kaiju, occasionally visit Port Clovis to pregame before destroying more Earth ones.
Again, I can't say it enough. I love the pop culture references and the landmarks, especially. Big Godzilla fans over here in my resonant circle of friendship and romance. We love Godzilla. My girlfriend loves Godzilla. She's a huge kaiju fan. I also enjoyed Pacific Rim. That might not be a popular opinion, but I liked it. I like big monster flicks. Cloverfield was okay. I would have preferred more monster in Cloverfield. It's neither here nor there, though.
Around here. Been funding a diving expedition every year for 10 years, and I ain't found it yet.
There are a lot of question marks in that area. One of them is that grate that we just popped, and the rest of them is all this stuff. A nutrient cache, 9 of 21 if you're keeping tally. And there's a bunch of hunters in here. And things to eat.
Every year for 10 years, and I ain't found it yet.
That was another Revengeance quest that we cleaned up while in there. Another landmark.
This is quite a find. Although, that depends on the gold market, which has really been underperforming lately. I blame the Fed, of course. What can you do?
It is kind of sweet justice.
He was really into scuba back when he was a teenager. This museum's the first place I took him after when he got certified.
As I was saying before Scaly Pete interrupted me, that is sweet justice that we destroyed those people in that Revengeance mission in there, because he had spent 10 years trying to find that treasure, and apparently they had just found it. I don't know what they're doing in there, swimming with spear guns that they just found treasure, but whatever. And we found the treasure, and now they never will, for various reasons, because we took those people out, so they'll keep looking and not look there.
A great way to discourage museum attendance is to put your museum underwater.
That's true. Who was going underwater to go to a museum? And more Revengeance on the way. We're knocking all these out because we knock out everything is rosy on this channel. This is a platinum walkthrough. You know this from the thumbnail, from the title, from the other 13 episodes. You know what we're doing here, and we are doing it the best way that we can on Cheats Disabled, and I am happy you chose to watch this long. Yet another nutrient cache is 10 of 21. We're about halfway done with those. And one more person will make another Revengeance quest under our shark belt. And that will be it, I believe. And we are gathering yet another license plate. 5 out of 10 of those. So we're about halfway done with the collectibles.
The university sends their students out here every summer to study the reefs. Shit. Guess we all got different ideas about summer fun, yeah?
We are eyeing all that stuff we still have left in Sapphire Bay. If I had this game to do over again, I probably would have done that before we moved on. I was kind of zealous to get over here and become an elder and subsequently a mega. So I kind of stayed on the linear path to get there as quickly as possible. In retrospect, it probably would have been better if we knocked out Sapphire Bay in the past. Not just because it's poisoned now, but also because we wouldn't have 20 minutes of sped up cleanup to do in between the Gulf and the end of the game.
A ton of food every day, which here in the Gulf mostly consists of hammerhead sharks.
So that is the population control mission. We are going to get a lot of hammerhead sharks. That's 7 license plates. We're almost done with those. Let's go take out some hammerheads, munch and crunch on these bad boys. That's what we do. And we speed it up, because even sped up, this is 200% speed, and we are a mega shark, and it's still taking forever to eat a hammerhead. I don't think this is from the Meg I saw in that movie that I think is terrible. I should have been able to waft one of these bad boys up in a single bite. Sit down and spend 15 seconds per wafting them down. Just doesn't really make sense to me. That's just me though.
Food every day, which here in the Gulf mostly consists of hammerhead sharks.
We've officially brought out the apex because we've done 50% of the area. So let's see what we do next. Looks like we are going to do some routine maintenance. Another revengeance. Revenge shall be Rosie's on this penultimate episode of Maneater. Rosie has waited a long time for her revengeance, and we shall deliver it today or Friday in the season finale. Maybe.
That ain't no joke.
Is this the end? We don't know. Will there be DLC? Where there'll be a sequel? I certainly hope so. I've enjoyed Maneater, and I think if you've been along for 14 episodes and going on 15, you have too. You probably are hungry for some more, like Rosie is hungry for nutrient caches, and maybe, just maybe, the sweet folks at Tripwire might hear our plea and give us some more Maneater.
Sea sponges' demand for pineapple homes has sparked massive deforestation throughout Costa Rica.
Oh.
But being brainless, sponges rarely weigh the consequences of their buying decisions.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Someone who doesn't care about deforestation. It's pretty terrible. Save the rainforest and save the orphans. Stop the bloody sea sponges. They're terrible people. Sorry, SpongeBob. Didn't mean to do you dirty like that. And we're just hopping around quickly as possible because this will be a time-consuming episode. But that's what we have a map for. I'll bring it up, show you where we're at every time. You don't have to worry. Although by episode 14, you probably don't even need me for this. You're just probably here for the terrible puns and the bad singing and maybe the subpar personality. I'm not sure why you're here, honestly, but I'm glad you are.
The bull shark is known to be a voracious, if hardly
probably self-deprecating humor. That's what you're here for, because that's pretty much my one speed, right? Getting yet another question mark. Just got a notification from YouTube that I might want to watch my own episode of Maneater. That's what happens when you have a Cheats Disabled account and then you have your own account that you had before you started doing YouTube. And you subscribe to yourself because you're a total mark for yourself. That's what you get. You get a thing saying, hey, you might want to watch this episode that you made. But I don't. Yeah, so clearly, because that's why it sent me a notification. I want my views to come from the beautiful people like you watching right now, not from myself. What do you do in your spare time? Oh, I watch my own videos that I make. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm pretty happy with my work, you know. I don't know. I guess if I was making Curb Your Enthusiasm or something like that was super successful and hilarious, I might watch my own stuff. And I probably should watch my own stuff because I really try hard. I hope it comes through and people see it and think, man, he's pretty good. I don't know if you don't. I'm sorry.
This recreation of the Titanic was so accurate, 1,500 people died during its making.
We're doing our best out here. You know what I mean? It's all we can do. We're out here trying to grow a channel. We're trying to see some growth. We're trying to hit 100. That is what we are trying to do. And then once we hit 100, we're trying to hit 1,000 and get that sweet ad revenue so I can afford my gaming habit and I can continue to make videos on new games that I can now afford thanks to kind ad revenue that I hope to get one day. That is the goal. We're not here to get rich. We're just here to afford a hobby and keep this thing rolling, right? That's the dream. Gaming for free, and money for nothing, and games for free, right? That's what Dire Straits said. They might have been a little ahead of their time. That's what they meant. And that is the last license plate. That is 10 out of 10. Just like all of you are. Man, I am really pouring it on thick this episode, aren't I? That's 21 out of 21. Like Savage. 21.
With 24-karat gold fixtures, 2 discos, circular staircases, and a mosaic swimming pool, the Chatelaine is still only Port Clovis's second most ostentatious yacht.
Wow. Ostentatious is a good word. Shout out to the narrator for the word of the day, ostentatious. Look that up on dictionary.com or Wikipedia or whatever you choose to use. Google it. Great word. So glad they used it. Man, I'm just super glad for everything, aren't I? This super humble Cheese Disabled. Just, I'm so glad. So glad. Everything's great. We are getting another landmark. Take that at 9. Just one
The
left.
self-driving technology of Gazorpazorp is not without its reliability
Azorp,
concerns.
Azorp. Maybe those are the same aliens from Ghost of Tsushima. If you watched yesterday's episode of Ghost of Tsushima, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about those aliens that hunted Lady Masako. So, we're knocking out another great. What are we doing next? We are hunting a well. Well. This will take a minute to chomp this ginormous sucker. Yeah. We don't cuss on this channel in case you haven't noticed, or not yet at least. Trying to keep it clean. Not because I'm worried so much about demonetization, but just because I try to make this as approachable for everybody as possible. And if I can't get my point across without dropping the F-bomb every 20 seconds, and I don't know, then I'm probably need to work on that. Work on my anger management. But right now, I really don't give a... Just kidding. Like I said, I really don't give a... We're getting some hammerheads. These hammerheads are a pain in my... But who's counting anyway, right? We're actually just checking to see if the fleet function actually works. I've never used it. Because I'm a good boy. Whose grandmother would be proud, I would hope. We're getting the 10th hammerhead, which should leave one more population control after we're done. And we got that one. We cut away from that.
But enjoyable only to upper Midwesterners.
We knocked out the last landmark of the game. That's it. That's what Tourist was for. That's a trophy. Add that one to your win column. That's a W. We're rocking it. What are we doing? Oh, we're doing a hunted. Taking out this boat. And we got that Devil May Cry techno beat going. Rosie's firing on all cylinders. And we took out that boat super quick, right? Yeah, wasn't just me, right? We took that thing out super quick. We're going over here. I think we're gonna get some more hammerheads, baby. You can't touch this, but we can hammer these hammerheads. We're dabbing on them, letting them know that we are the queen of the sea, the only shark that matters. Rosie Disabled, aka Cheats Disabled, aka Super Saiyan Rose, whatever you want to call her, whatever you want to name her. Use your own nomenclature at this point. Give her your own moniker if you want. We are tearing it down though. We got 2 more hammerheads to take apart. And this sperm whale is like, hey, I'm draining these hammerheads. And I'm like, hey, you really don't want this smoke, sperm whale? And it's like, yes, I do. And I was like, all right, well, we're a mega shark. We're going to show you what it's about. Hit my Devil May Cry music, baby. And we are taking it out. I've noticed something. I am super more hype when I record Maneater, and I don't know if that's because of the sweet techno tracks or the high
Back in the good
octane
old
energy.
days, the world practically ran on sperm whale oil. Now we can only watch them from afar, dreaming of tapping their skulls for all that sweet spermaceti.
But it might just be because I chug a bunch of Mountain Dew before I do these episodes, as opposed to Ghost of Tsushima, where I'm kind of just chilling and mixing something out of the soda stream or something chill.
Assassin, the sperm whale.
We are taking on this Apex. It's very Cinnabite looking. It's got a bunch of like barbed wire on it and stuff. I don't know what's going on with this Hellraiser sperm whale, but we're giving it the business, because that's what we do at Cheese Disabled, right? We put these boys to work, give them the business, and we're putting those shadow teeth to work. They're putting in overtime.
Now we can only watch them from afar, dreaming of tapping our skulls for all that sweet spermacity.
That was the trophies for knocking out all the Apexes and knocking out all the evolutions, because we gathered the last evolutionary trait from finishing that sperm whale. So we knocked out that Apex, which gave us a trophy. We knocked out all the Apexes at that point, which gave us another trophy, and knocked out the last transformation that we could acquire. So 3 more in the bag this episode. We are tearing it up like this hunted orca. Man, orcas are pretty rough. Look at this little orca getting a piece of us, which makes no sense because we turn around and thrash it, and it shouldn't be able to thrash us if we thrash it. But I don't know. Thrashing and trashing. We're hitting the sweet techno music. That means we mean business, that we're serious, and we are almost gonna die, but we're gonna turn around because those shadow teeth, baby. Remember back in episode 3, I think, is when I told you those, how great those were, and look at them come up clutch again. They saved our bioelectric booty from certain demise right there. That was pretty clutch. Now we're going to take out the Apex Great White, or not Apex Great White, but the hunted Great White. And this is just going to be yet another quick bit of business for the home squad. And now we are jumping over here to the Fatik Bayou to hit this gate, to take us back to the first area of the game that we ever came to. And now we are going to kind of just go over the review of the game. And again, I know I've said this a million times over the course of this series and this episode, but thank you so much for all the support. And I'm just going to kind of talk about my experience with Maneater. I loved this game. I had so much fun playing this game, and I totally didn't expect it. My girlfriend wanted to get it. She's super into sharks, and she wanted to get it. She just kind of got into PlayStation 4 within the last year, and we played some games together like Elder Scrolls and other things like that. But she wanted to get this game because she wanted a game where you could be the shark, and I was like, yeah, we'll get it, you know, whatever you want to do, let's do it. And then when we the Rona hit and we decided to start this YouTube channel, and she's been such a support to me, both emotionally and honestly, partially financially. We talked about starting with the SO expansion, or starting with this game or that game. And we came down to Maneater because it was like, this game is pretty quirky. I don't know if a lot of people are going to cover it or not. And it looks like it's a lot better than any business that has been. And we decided to try it, and we fell in love, and I'm glad I recorded it, and I'm glad that you're here along the way. That being said, graphics, I mean, aren't the best. I mean, compared to Ghost of Tsushima, it's not a AAA title. It's not God of War. It's not Spider-Man. It's not a first-party exclusive title that is selling itself on its graphics. For what it is, it's colorful, it's fun, it's fitting. It was never hard to play. The graphics never got in the way of the game. So we'll say graphics are an 8 out of 10, right? I mean, every PS4 game looks good to a certain point, and it looks fine. I like the colors, the synthwave, vaporwave aesthetic you get when you look at the horizon sometimes. All that stuff is cool. Sound is cool. The game is a little loud at times, which is fine. The narrator was great. Totally love the narrator. All of those little clips throughout the whole game. All the narration, all the landmarks, when you pick up nutrient caches, when you do quests, everything else. Awesome. Really brought in that true TV vibe. I really appreciate the detail they paid to when you drag someone under the ground or not underground, underwater, and they have that gurgling water noise associated with their voice. People sound like people. I mean, you can't complain. The voice acting's all pretty good. I totally bought it for what it was supposed to be. So again, we'll give that a 9, right? And then we'll get into gameplay. Gameplay, for being a $40 game, played pretty solid. We caught all the glitches that we had in this game, in this walkthrough, with an alligator getting stuck in a wall, with us getting stuck in a wall a couple times. I mean, that was basically all the glitches we had. I had some issues with trying to target, which got a little easier the bigger you got, but trying to target your bites was kind of a pain in the keister sometimes. But overall, I mean, I'd say 7. I mean, the gameplay's fine. The shark swim's great. So we'll say an 8. Okay, I'd say 7 to 8 for gameplay. Storyline, great story. Loved it, enjoyed it, completely bought the whole aesthetic they were going for, the whole reality show, all that. We'll give that a 9. For it served its purpose well, and I think the ending was good. You'll see that next episode, so I'm not going to say much about that. But to this point, as you can see, the story was fun. Rosie is a delight. Such great vocal lines, you know, really sold her character well. So overall, I think when you consider the price point of this game at being $39, $39.99, find it cheaper all the time. It's been on sale 3 times already since it's been out. I've seen it anywhere from 20 to 25 bucks multiple times. I think at 39 bucks, it's a solid 9 out of 10. And if you do dollar for dollar at 20 bucks, you are hard pressed to find a game that's going to give you 10 hours of fun and actually let you feel like a shark and actually be really good and enjoyable. Like, you're not going to find that. You're not going to find another game like this, not this generation. You're going to have to go back to Jaws Unleashed on PS2, which we might be playing at some point on this channel. I don't know. But you're not going to find that anywhere else. This game is unique. It's fun. And if you find it at 20 bucks, if you find it on sale, you're hard to say it's not a 10 out of 10. So, you know, I gotta say, we're gonna give it a solid 9. It gets the solid right hand thumbs up, the full bear paw from Cheese Disabled. And now we're gonna go into the questions, and hopefully that'll lead up the rest of the time. If not, I'll have to figure something else out. But yeah, let's jump into these questions. I've got them here on the phone. Let's see. What do you think the best and worst features are for this game? I think the best features for this game is just the overall feeling like you're a shark. You really feel like a shark in the water. When you're a Megalodon, you feel like a Megalodon. Best feature would be the RPG elements, getting the bioelectric stuff, the shadow stuff, all that. That's the best element. Like, you feel like a sci-fi movie, one of those Sharknado, Ghost Shark type movies. You feel like that when you're playing the game. Worst feature, targeting. There was several times, as you've seen through the playthrough, that you line up your targeting reticle, you take your shot, and the game just whiffs. I've gone through stuff. It kind of did its own thing. You know, it was one of those. So targeting, by far the worst feature of the game. Who do you feel this game was geared towards? I feel this game was geared towards people that really loved Jaws Unleashed on PS2 and people who were really hungry for just like shark action, right? I mean, like people who like The Meg, 47 Meters Down, who watch those kind of movies, Jaws, and just love that and didn't really have anything that spoke to them since the PS2. People like Erica, for example, who loves sharks, and that's why we got the game. What would you rate the overall gameplay? Control, sound, story, I just covered that, so I would say overall 9 out of 10. What one sentence would you say to someone to get them interested in this game? I would tell you that I play a lot of games. I pick up a lot of games. and I have a backlog that's embarrassing long. Going back to the PS2, I have games that I bought on PS2 when they first came out. Never touched them because I get busy with other games. I love games. I love stories. I love movies. I love books. I love everything with a good story. So it's easy to pull me away from something if I don't get started on it. I have not done hardly anything in Red Dead Redemption 2. I have not done hardly anything in Detroit Become Human, although those are all on my list. I haven't even touched my beloved Assassin's Creed Odyssey enough, which covers my favorite time period with the ancient Greeks, the mythology and all that. I haven't even given that enough time. So I'm way over a sentence here. But my point being is that I love games. I haven't played a game that I have had more fun with this year than this game. Ghost of Tsushima is a better game in every sense of the word. It's better designed, the sound is better, the acting is better, the story is better, it's better looking, bigger budget. In every sense of the word, if you were going to say what's game of the year between those two games, Ghost of Tsushima, hands down. But I've had more fun with Maneater than I can remember in a long time. And it inspired me to do this channel. And so that's what I can say about it. You're going to have a ton of fun playing this game. So I have another question for somebody else. What was the hardest boss battle in the game? Well, I would say there was two that were about equally as tough for me. The Orca Apex boss battle was probably the hardest. Trying to take it legit, just like take it without using the slowdown glitch that is part of. I don't know if it was put in there for that reason because she's so hard to take out or not. But yeah, that was by far the hardest boss battle. Coming up right next to it would be the last battle of the game. We died a couple times there. There wasn't a boss that took us out more than 3 times, maybe 4 at the max. I didn't record it. I didn't save every loss, to be honest. But yeah, definitely the Apex Orca, I would say, was the hardest, and the final boss being the next. What is your favorite shark setup? Well, I think that it's no question based on what I rocked most of the game with, as I love the bio body. I love what the bio body did as far as the electricity and the aesthetics. You look wicked. First of all, the lighting is great. The music is by far the best. Utility wise, it's pretty good. Like being able to dodge 100% of damage when you're in that electrified state is super nice. The speed increase is super good. It's solid, and that's probably why it's locked behind doing the infamy hunter quest, because it is so good. Aesthetically wise, I really like the shadow set. I think the shadow set looks really cool, and all sets have their purpose, because honestly, slight spoiler, going to the last boss fight, we finished the boss using the bone set. Bone, the defensive bonus is unparalleled, the speed bonus is unparalleled, and for the majority of the game we used bio because it allowed us to get every license plate and collectible so much easier than it would have been trying to do it without. But so it's kind of a mix of all three. I enjoy the looks of Shadow the most. I enjoy the gameplay of Bioelectric the most, but I also love how good Bone is in the clutch in a hard fight. That being said, if you're gonna let me modify, I would go with my setup that I'm currently running, which is all bio except for the Shadow Teeth. I feel like even with 50% electricity bonus from having all pieces of Bioelectric, taking the 20% hit to be down at 30% for being 4 out of 5, the Shadow Teeth make up for it because you do way more bite damage and you heal, so you can't hate that. So yeah, the last question I have is what's next for Cheats Disabled, and that is a hard question to answer. There's a lot of stuff coming out, guys. There's UFC 4, all the sports games, Madden, NBA. There's a crazy backlog, Dying Light DLC. There's tons of stuff I'd love to play. I'd love to bring back old classics like Final Fantasy IV that I love, but I really want to talk about Bear Championship Wrestling right now. Bear Championship Wrestling is the original concept of ours that's going to be on Fire Pro. It's going to be Bears Wrestling. You're going to have characters like Amara Bear. You're going to have Root Bear. You're going to have the Berry Triplets. You're going to have Straw. You're going to have Dingle. And you're going to have Poison. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I really hope you enjoy it. Look for a teaser of that coming up very soon. I am making the bears as we speak and getting everything together, mods and everything for Fire Pro on Steam, so I can bring you a top-notch product. I have a lot of ideas that I want to incorporate myself as a character into it, etc., etc. But anyway, I hope whatever we do next and in between time and meantime, you enjoy. I hope you've had fun with this game, and I really hope you enjoy the ending, which will be Friday. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for Ghost on Thursday. We'll see you next time. Have a great one.